Attorney General Gettner Drummond continues to declare priorities of the state administration to be illegal and unconstitutional. The latest salvo involves 2 gaming compacts negotiated by the governor. Capitol correspondent Jason Doyle reports on that, in addition to a handful of interim studies during a busy non-session week at the Capitol.
Third item will be consideration of the Kialegee Tribal Town and State of Oklahoma Gaming Compact.
The Joint Committee on Tribal-State Relations met on Wednesday to consider 2 of the gaming compacts which Governor Kevin Stitt signed with the Kialegee Tribal Town, or KTT, and the United Kiowa Band of Cherokee Indians, or UKB. Despite an Oklahoma Supreme Court decision and a letter from Attorney General Gettner Drummond saying the compacts were not legal, the governor submitted these particular compacts for approval. The general counsel for Governor Stitt, Trevor Pemberton, does believe the compacts are legal and could be approved by the Joint Committee.
The Attorney General claims and alleges that the Joint Committee lacks authority to make valid that which the Supreme Court earlier declared to be invalid.
Pemberton asserts that the Oklahoma Supreme Court decision on the KTT and UKB compacts means the committee can still take action.
The Supreme Court specifically held, and this is a quote from the actual holding of the case, without proper approval by the Joint Committee, the new tribal gaming compacts are invalid under Oklahoma law. So in other words, once they're validated, once they're approved by the Joint Committee, they would in fact be seen by the Supreme Court as being valid under Oklahoma law.
Pemberton contends the Attorney General got it wrong when he suggests that the compacting process was taken out of order and should have been approved by the Joint Committee before Governor Stitt sent the compacts for approval by the U.S. Department of the Interior. However, Pemberton says the Supreme Court did not invalidate these 2 compacts on the basis of the federal government approving them first.
The language that's cited by the Attorney General in his letter is known in the law as dicta. It's not part of the holding. So first of all, the court did not hold that is, in fact, the law of the land.
Pemberton added that the governor will resubmit the compacts to the Department of the Interior if the Joint Committee approves them. The Comanche and Otoe Missouri tribes also signed gaming compacts. However, Stitt's attorney explained the state Supreme Court did find a fatal flaw in the language of those deals.
In that case, the court absolutely said that even if the Joint Committee were to review those compacts and even if the Joint Committee were to approve those compacts, they would still be invalid because they contain terms that are in conflict with Oklahoma law in the eyes of the Oklahoma Supreme Court.
After nearly an hour of discussion with the governor's general counsel, it was Senator Greg McCourtney who pushed things forward.
I believe there are significant fatal flaws in the construction of this compact and the lands that are granted. My opinion will not change over time, so I will make a motion that we disapprove this compact.
And the committee followed suit.
All those in favor of the motion to disapprove the compact of the KTT tribe as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
The same fate fell on the United Kiowa Band's compact. As the deadline approaches for interim studies to be complete, diverse issues like who constructs high-powered electric transmission lines in Oklahoma to using art therapy in school were discussed for possible legislation next session. The legislature could consider requiring transmission lines to be built by state utilities instead of following a federal rule which requires a bidding process. Utilities want the legislature to extend the right of first refusal to high-powered transmission lines.
This gave the local utility the first right to build, own, operate, and maintain the project for the benefits of its customers, or to decide who it trusted to assume that right. This process made sense because it meant projects were constructed by entities that knew its service territory and understood where lines could realistically be built to minimize disruptions to customers, the land, and environment.
However, companies like NextEra, which builds and operates wind and solar farms in Oklahoma, believe they can do the job just as well as utilities.
The need for more transmission is real, and plans for significant transmission expansion is on their way right here in Oklahoma. More transmission means more jobs, more investment, better reliability, and an affordable rate. Removing the competitive bidding process from transmission construction will eliminate project competition and increase rates for all Oklahomans.
That decision is likely to be made by lawmakers next year. Senator Kevin Matthews would like to know if art therapy could reduce suspensions and expulsions while giving at-risk students help. Artform's Foundation founder, Ebony Easley, says art therapy in school can lead to better outcomes for students and their communities.
Art therapy is a preventative and strategic response to our current educational landscape that will fiscally benefit our state budget and provide a pathway to improving our national ranking in education and in health.
Lawmakers will take the information collected from these and the other interim studies to craft legislation to be considered in 2024. Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.